Well, good Monday morning, Alaska and South Central. We've got an active weather pattern shaping up across the state that's going to lead to some high winds, some freezing rain, some snowfall, and yes, some heavy rain expected out towards Prince William Sound and southern parts of the Kenai. Giving you a quick live look outside. You can see those overcast skies. They've made a return to South Central, and we're going to see these overcast conditions stay with us for quite some time. Now, looking at the state, those major storm impacts that we're expected to see across Alaska, we've got high winds impacting areas of the northwest Arctic borough out towards the Seward Peninsula, Gamble, St. Lawrence. Here in South Central, we're expected to see some high winds across the Anchorage Bowl into parts of the valley, out towards Valdez and Cordova, and of course the Alaska range seeing some of those high winds. And then we've got snow and ice in the forecast. A mixed bag of precip will fall across South Central, with ice accumulation being the primary concern for a large portion of the region as those temperatures continue to steadily warm. So breaking this down for you, with that snow that we're going to see, southwest Alaska, 3 to 6 inches of snowfall. The Copper River Basin, 6 to 12 inches to be expected, with up to a quarter of an inch of ice looking possible as those temperatures continue to warm. And then for those who love doing some snow machining, getting out and enjoying that wintertime sports, Valdez Thompson Pass could see 2 to 3 feet of snow accumulation with this incoming storm system. The biggest concern today outside of that freezing rain will be our winds. We're talking about the Alaska range, winds of 60 to 85 miles per hour. The Anchorage hillside seeing those winds up to 85 miles per hour with occasional gusts up to 100 miles per hour as you head out towards Portage. And of course, Matanuska Valley seeing some winds up to hurricane force as well, including Cordova, which will see some winds gusting up to 75 miles per hour. And freezing rain, the western Kenai, a glaze is possible from Anchorage into the valley. We could see up to a quarter of an inch, while the Copper River Basin down towards Valdez Thompson Pass sees up to 2/10 of an inch of rain. So everyone's going to see a mixed bag of precip. Some locations holding on to some of those stronger winds, others seeing more in the way of some snow. So it's really location dependent upon what you're going to see today as we continue to see this incoming storm system. We do have some light rain showers out towards the Aleutians that will continue through the day with less than a quarter of an inch of rainfall, as well as some gusty winds. But take a look at that area of low pressure pushing northward out of the Pacific Ocean into the Gulf of Alaska. This storm will continue to deepen as it builds northward, and we're going to be talking about increasing winds with some of the strongest winds arriving this afternoon and lasting into the evening hours. Not everyone will see those winds, but we will see some of those stronger winds in excess of 75 miles an hour, while the rest of South Central sees winds of about 20 to 50 miles per hour to be expected. So those are the winter weather alerts that we do have in place across the state. Out towards southeast, there is a winter storm warning. That is for Skagway, Haines, and some of those higher elevations where we could see 2 to 4 inches of snow accumulation. That does expire at noon, and then we've got additional rounds of some rain and snow spreading through southeast into the evening hours. As far north as the Alaska range, you can see those winter weather or wind advisories, high wind warning, as well as a winter storm watch. Now, that winter storm watch is primarily for the southern Denali borough and then out towards the eastern Alaska range south of Trim's Camp. This is where we could see 4 to 7 inches of accumulation. Now, as that system pushes northward over the Alaska range, we will see some light snow spreading through the interior, just a couple of inches expected. Nothing of concern for the interior, but you will see temperatures noticeably warmer compared to what we did see last week. We're going to be talking about daily highs climbing into the teens and 20s. Taking a look at these winds so far across the state, you can see winds have been gusting anywhere from about 25 to 60 miles per hour. Although precipitation is not going to be a concern out west, we will see the possibility for some winds gusting as high as 70 miles per hour. That persistent northeasterly flow will lead to some pockets of some blowing snow. So for areas, the northern parts of Gamble, St. Lawrence Island, this is where we're going to see that better potential for some of those strong winds. Some heavy freezing spray also looking likely through the Bering Sea out towards parts of the Pribilof, so be prepared for that as well. These winds driving in warmth across the state. As you can see, a large portion of Alaska is 5 to 30 degrees warmer than this time yesterday, and we're going to continue to hold on to this warm weather pattern for a large portion of this week. Well above average warmth likely will continue through a good portion of this month, and that's what we're seeing today as those temperatures continue to steadily warm. Notice we do climb near freezing freezing through the afternoon and early evening hours, but our warmest stretch of the day for all of South Central arrives this evening as those winds really ramp up. We'll see the possibility for temperatures in the valley to climb into the 40s, Anchorage out towards the Kenai, the mid to upper 30s expected. I mean, even in areas where freezing rain is not going to be a concern, as these temperatures continue to warm, we will see deteriorating road conditions across South Central. Already seeing reports that the roads in the valley are already becoming very slick due to that warm weather that we do have in place. And speaking of the warm weather and the winds, you can see that high wind warning continues through Tuesday morning. We've got strong easterly winds gusting up to 75 miles per hour through the Matanuska Valley. The Anchorage hillside could see some gust up to 85 miles per hour. And as we've already mentioned, Portage could see some occasional winds gusting as high as 100 miles per hour. Now, the Anchorage Bowl as a whole, not going to see as strong of those winds, but it will be quite a gusty day into the afternoon and evening where we could see some winds of up to 40 plus miles per hour. So be prepared for that. Down through the Kenai, we'll also see some winds gusting 20 to 50 miles per hour with some of those pockets of stronger winds out towards Whittier and then through parts of Prince William Sound. So there it is. You can see those the colors changing with that wind gust near over the next 48 hours. Check out those pinks and those white colors. That's where we're maxing out at 75 plus miles per hour. So thinking parts of Turnagain Arm out towards Portage, Hope, also seeing that potential as well. A large portion of the Kenai Mountains Kenai will be shielded from the Kenai Mountains from the bulk of those winds, but be prepared for those gusty conditions to stay with us this afternoon into the evening. And then overnight into tomorrow, those winds do begin to subside across South Central. We'll see some lingering precip across the region, but largely expecting tomorrow and Wednesday to be a bit on the drier side before our next storm system arrives as we welcome in the middle of the week. So looking at those strongest winds, Portage Valley up to 100 miles per hour, the Anchorage hillside up to 85 miles per hour, and the Matanuska Valley could see winds up to 75 miles per hour. So those are where we'll see the strongest core winds today. And then as those winds do die down, we're going to be talking about those temperatures dropping back near freezing through the overnight hours. In addition to the winds, you can see the mixed bag of precip that we'll have across South Central. Most locations will see more in the way of a rain-snow mix, particularly if you're heading south along the Seward Highway through Turnagain Pass. Be prepared for deteriorating road conditions for you. Western parts of the Kenai will see some freezing rain before that rain does build in as those temperatures continue to steadily warm. So really the thinking is near the coast, primarily all rain. Inland areas, freezing rain transitioning to rain, and then through the Copper River Basin out towards Valdez-Thompson Pass. This is where we'll see the best chance for some snow accumulation. And again, 2 to 3 feet of snow does look possible out towards Valdez and Thompson Pass, although Valdez may see more in the way of a rain event as those temperatures are already warming near or above freezing. There it is, Tuesday and Wednesday, largely dry compared to what we'll see today outside of some coastal regions where we'll hold on to that chance for some rain in the forecast. And looking at that snowfall potential, notice how it's really eastern parts of South Central that will pick up most of that snow. Over the Chugach Kenai range, seeing several inches of that accumulation, and of course through the Copper River Basin, we could see 6 to 12 inches of that snowfall, primarily south of Glen Allen is where we'll hold on to that better potential. Can't rule out some light snow showers through the valley, but temperatures will remain warm enough that we'll largely see a freezing rain, if not a rain event. And even if it's just a rain event, that rain falling on top of those snow-covered roads, particularly those back roads and parking lots, will make it extremely icy as those temperatures continue to remain well above average through the rest of this week. So we'll be watching this storm system today and into tomorrow before it does wind down. And even further north into the interior, you can see that snow showers do begin to build into the interior later this evening on into Tuesday. Only looking at the possibility for a few inches of snow accumulation. Nothing of concern for areas north of the Alaska Range, although you will notice those temperatures will be 20 to 40 degrees warmer than what we saw last week. So for today, we'll see a high of 11 below in Utqiagvik, 17 in Nome, out towards Gamble, St. Lawrence. Be prepared for some of those winds gusting up to 70 miles per hour, and that is primarily on the northern part of that island where we are going to see that northeasterly flow remaining with us. And then from the Aleutians through South Central and Southeast, those temperatures warming into the 30s and the 40s. Fairbanks, your 7-day forecast, warm for the next 7 days, where we're going to see highs in the 20s and the 30s. There's an outside chance That Fairbanks and surrounding locations could warm near 30 into Tuesday, although I think we'll stay in the mid to upper 20s. The best chance for those highs warming into the 40 or 30s will be out towards the Alaska range where those Chinook winds kick in. So Healy out towards Delta Junction, you will easily see those daily highs climbing above freezing. Here in Anchorage, that 7-day forecast, if you're a fan of warmer weather, well, the next 7 days, really possibly the next 2 weeks, staying near or above freezing, overnight lows in the 20s. And again, we'll catch a break Tuesday and Wednesday with just some of that scattered potential for some snow and rain out towards coastal regions. And then our next storm system arrives through the latter half of this week. This one also brings the potential for more rain, more snow, winds, as well as the potential for freezing rain. So we'll be watching for that later this week. But this active weather forecast will stay with us and likely going to see a very warm January across a large portion of the state. We'll have more on this coming up in the noon show as well as in the evening newscast. For now, make sure you have a great Monday, giving you another live look outside where we are seeing those overcast skies remaining with us. Dry right now in Anchorage, but with those temperatures continuing to steadily warm, we'll see some of those slick spots develop, and be prepared for pockets of freezing rain across parts of South Central with that heavy snow through the Copper River Basin and out towards Valdez.